Hold on, what was that? What was that? Do you want to consider it mana? Oh yes, look at that, everybody. Oh, this is what I live for. They finished the sentence with a comma. Oh yes. I do get a little bit of a thrill every time I spot a spelling mistake. Hello everyone, welcome to Glass Half Dead. Today we are looking at the rules pack for Games Workshop's own event, held in Warhammer World, 22nd of September. Now, just yesterday, you'll have seen me, I'm sure you will have, obviously, seen me go through the rule pack for Nova. Now, I'm not going to Nova. I was excited to see the first ever Kill Team tournament pack, sure. However, this one is more exciting because I'm actually going to this. I live in London, Games Workshop is in Nottingham, but you know what? Sometimes you've got to make the pilgrimage, haven't you? Okay. Let's see what's up. First off, this is quite small. There you go, that's the stuff. Okay, I've already read through this. The opening page about kill teams and mustering is exactly the same, so we're good there. Now, instantly on the battlefield, we have a slight change. Each player must bring with them at least one kill team game board and an assembled and painted collection of kill team terrain, e.g. the terrain included in the Warhammer 40k kill team starter set or the terrain included in a Killzone expansion. Whoa! Geez, okay. That's a bit of a change, isn't it? Now, gosh, where to even begin? I knew this was coming, I've read this before, but... Okay, so first things first, this means that I am going to have to change my painting schedule seriously, because I have not painted the terrain yet, any of the terrain. Instantly, I'm thinking I'm going to go for the easiest one, which would be the Sector Munitorum. You just have a few crates, spray them black, dry brush them, boom, you're done. However, that is interesting. I think we can all agree. Now, I'm all for using the different game boards. That's fine. But the terrain, the thing here is saying that the player has to bring a board and terrain is the opposite of one of the big selling points of Kill Team. I mean, Games Workshop even sells the small Kill Team travel case, right? Which is the smallest case they do. In fact, if you've seen it, you can barely fit a Kill Team in there. Let's hope you don't have over 10 models. But, you know, the point there is portability. This, man, the most annoying thing about this hobby, for me personally, is transporting terrain. It's impossible. They don't make any flat pack terrain. They make beautiful terrain that I love, but you can't transport it. You know, everyone's going to have to take one of their full, what are they called? The Legion size army cases, whatever it is. And one of those little foam trays is going to be your army. Everything else is going to be the board and the terrain. No, let's move on. Okay. Terrain features. So it's the same thing here. All of the maps have been designed to be symmetrical. And as we go through them, you'll see they're basically the same setups as the Nova team, the Nova tournament. So no big surprises there. And again, I'm all for symmetrical deployments. Cool. A little note there for recent people from certain tournaments that shall remain unnamed. Here we say, players should remember that this tournament is held in the spirit of friendly competition and players are expected to show good conduct throughout the tournament. Anyone that's into the 40k scene will know exactly what I'm referring to there. Let's keep that in mind. Hold on, what was that? What was that? Do you want to consider it mana? Oh yes, look at that, everybody. Oh, this is what I live for. They finished the sentence with a comma. Oh yes. I do get a little bit of a thrill every time I spot a spelling mistake. That was good. That was good. Excited. Okay. Secondary objectives. These are exactly the same. Same limits. You can only score 3 a turn, giving you a maximum of 9. Is that right? Why do I keep thinking 9? No, that's the main objectives. 3 points a turn. So the secondary objectives in this one, I have to read and compare. I think they're actually a bit different here. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. You can only score each secondary objective once per mission. So it gives you a total of 3 victory points over your entire game there. I seem to recall that in Nova, it was per battle round. But I might be thinking of the primary objectives. Either way, this one, secondary objectives are only ever 3. You can score each of them once per round, but they are the same. And we come on to the first mission, vital supplies. It's pretty much what you'd expect. So let's note again, same thing as Nova here. We're not resulting the scouting phase at all. We skip that. And again, I can't remember exactly what Nova said, but in this, you are very much allowed to play in any of the currently available 3 battle zones, kill zones. Kill zones, which means Sector Munitorum, Sector Imperialis, Sector Mechanicus, and I assume that means that you will be playing with their random results, random battlefield effects tables. It doesn't specifically say it, but if you read in the core rulebook about how you set up the battlefield, that is how you do it. Cool. I'm all for that. Again, we're having hard ends, hard stops to each of the battles at round 4. Victory conditions are the same. Capture and hold objectives. You can never score more than 9 victory points in this mission. So with that in mind, it is very possible to get a draw. However, it is worth noting here, mission critical supplies. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if you control the objective marker at the center of the battlefield. And that is separate to the main victory conditions there. So you could potentially come away with a total of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 victory points from each round. Or, well, from this mission. Here we see the board layout. Pretty much what you'd expect. Pivotal point. Again, everything here is pretty much the same. Except instead of whatever it was called, wait for it, instead of mission critical supplies, this time we get sector cleared. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if 1 or more models from your kill team are wholly within each of 2 adjacent quarters of the battlefield, i.e. not 2 quarters that only touch at the center of the battlefield, and there are no enemy models wholly within those table quarters. At the end of the battle, the player with the most... yeah, we don't care about that. So, at the end of the battle score... so, let's look at the map. So, to get the sector cleared, you have to hold... well, potentially, let's say we are this orange player. I hope that's the colour orange. You'd have to hold here and here, or here and here. Holding here doesn't count. That seems weird to me. Let's recheck that rule. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if 1 or more models from your kill team are wholly within each of 2 adjacent quarters of the battlefield, i.e. not 2 quarters that only touch at the center of the battlefield, and there are no enemy models wholly within those table quarters. Okay, yeah. So if you hold the whole of one half of the board, either one half this way, or one half this way, landscape or portrait we call that, then yep, you get another victory point. Again, everything here is the same, except the victory conditions. What have we got? Let's look at the map. Okay, so this is this one. This map is laid out very differently to the Nova map. However, it seems to be the same in that you are contesting the 5 different buildings. Let's see what the victory conditions are. Okay, Clear them out. At the end of the battle round, a player scores 1 victory point if they control any contested terrain, or 3 victory points if they control more contested terrain than their opponent. A player controls a piece of contested terrain if the total wounds characteristics of models from their kill team that are wholly within 3 inches of the center of the objective marker at the center of that terrain. Whew, man, GW needs to put in some commas. I'm just going to say it. I've only got little lungs, you know. Right, let's try that again. At the center of that terrain is higher than the total wounds characteristics of enemy models wholly within 3 inches of the center of the objective marker at the center of the terrain. A player cannot score more than 9 victory points for this victory condition in this mission. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. So let's say you've got one boy knob. I can't think of the boss knob, that's the name. In there, they've got 2 wounds. You can have 3 Reavers. I don't know. I'm making up words here, not Reavers, because they're Primaris and probably have 2 wounds. You can have 3 Dark Eldar Witches. There you go. Who obviously have 3 wounds, and you would control that. Easy peasy. But what is the secondary? Swift and subtle. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if no models from your kill team made a shooting attack of any kind in this battle round. That's interesting. Okay. So that obviously is very much favouring melee teams. Okay. That's cool. Not going to work for me because I'm taking Necrons. So there you go. Oops me. Right, let's take a look at the map. Okay. This looks very, very similar to Mission 1 and 2. Same victory points. Can only ever get 9. What is the evaluate find though? At the start of the movement phase, if you control 1 or more objective markers, you can choose a model from your kill team, other than a shaken model, that is within 1 inch of an objective marker you control and not within 1 inch of an enemy model, so out of close combat. If you do so, you score 1 victory point. This model cannot be chosen to move, react, manifest psychic powers or shoot in this battle round, and can only be chosen to fight in the fight phase if it is charged in this battle round. Okay, that's interesting. So you're kind of doubling down there on your victory points. And what you could also say for this here is, let's say you've got a guy next to one of the objective markers. Maybe you've been a bit cheeky and you've managed to get into the other player's deployment zone, and you're not in close combat. At the beginning of your movement phase, you can get 1 extra victory point. You know he's going to die. There's no need to try and fight the whole of the enemy team. Also, there doesn't seem to be a limit on that. You can just do that. So I assume you can just do that constantly, actually, which I suspect should be FAQ'd. Let's take a look at the map. Okay. So this one is obviously going to be a very bloody mission, because to hold any of the objectives, it's going to be, well, you have to be, at least this one here, well, maybe this one, you're going to have to be in open line of sight. I assume you will be able to hold these ones from the other side of the wall, but not sure. Have to wait to see how that pans out on the board. But then it's just your standard hold objective. Location secure. At the end of the battle round, score 3 victory points if you control all 5 objectives. Okay. Good luck with that. Blimey. You basically have to have tabled the enemy to do that, I think. Running battle. Okay, let's take a look at this map. Okay. Interesting. Complete reconnaissance. This is how you score victory conditions. Complete reconnaissance. At the end of the battle round, a player scores 1 victory point if they control any objective markers, 2 if they control more objective markers than their opponent, or 3 if they control the objective marker furthest from their deployment zone. Oh, okay, right. So the one across the board from you. That's going to be very interesting. I think Harlequins are going to wreck this one for obvious reasons. And then a secondary objective here. Keep moving. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if no models from your kill team are even partially within the battlefield quarter that includes your deployment zone. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then we come on to tournament rules. Now, the big change here is tactics. Again, in my Nova tournament breakdown, I lamented that tactics couldn't be used outside of the core rulebook. Here, you can use any tactic cards as long as it's for your team. That's great. However, in defense of the Nova not doing this, I now have issues with GW doing this. For the simple fact that this is probably, it instantly gives an advantage to the teams that already have the faction expansions released. I know that for Imperial Guard, your tactics in there pretty much make your team. And then we get into the whole issues of paywalls and why should I have to spend 30 quid to get 8 cards, because I don't really care about burners and looters, and I don't care about the galvanic servo hauler, right? 30 quid to be competitive for orcs seems a bit crazy. But that's another day. That's another day. Again, it's this tough toss-up. I really want all of the tactics to be available for all the people. I think they add a lot of depth to the game. But GW isn't quite doing it right at the moment. And obviously GW has moved on so much from where they used to be. But we still have to call them on their bullshit. And I think the way they are handling the tactics cards behind such a high paywall is bullshit. You know what, guys? We'll have a rant about that another day. Because this video's gone on way too long. I wanted this to be concise and to the point. And I've rambled. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Hope Glass Half Dead did it for you today. Still don't know how to sign off from these videos, if you can't tell. Have a good day. So, I got sidetracked in the middle of that video, and I completely forgot to come back to this point. As you can see on the screen, the issue I had with having to bring your own terrain, and that being the complete antithesis of Kill Team, was very quickly addressed by Games Workshop Warhammer World on their Facebook page, which is Games Workshop Warhammer World. As you can see here, they say, "Hey guys, seems to be some confusion about this event, so we would like to clear it up for you. All is good. You can 100% attend this event without bringing scenery with you." Just gonna quickly throw out there, they seem confused, or they're saying there is confusion because people are reading their rules. Like, the confusion is what you wrote. We're not confused, we're just taking what you said literally. Anyway, moving on, let's not dwell. You can bring any environment for the event and use these in games should you wish. The benefit of having your own environment is that you can choose which rules to use. If you do not have an environment, we can lend you one. That's right, we'll lend you board and terrain for the day. Should be an A there. That means you can very much turn up to the event with just your Kill Team and enjoy a good day's gaming at our first event for the new edition of Kill Team. Sorry for the confusion on this one, everybody. We hope to see you and your Kill Team in September. And there you go. So that does fix the entire issue. I hope that if you are taking along your Sector Mechanicus or Sector Munitorum, you can still take along your tactics cards for that zone. For example, I know that with the Sector Munitorum, you can shoot some crates and they blow up, causing a mortal wound. I really hope that's still available. It should be. Let's find out. But anyway, a final note on this. Obviously, I have tickets for this, so I'm a little bit biased. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited to get some games in over the weekend. I'm almost certainly going to pick up The Last Chances on the Saturday because, you know, they're reprinting them just for this event. So yeah, of course I'm going to. And yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I hope to be updating all of you guys with all of my thoughts on it as soon as I can. And I'm also going to give you a rundown of the list I'm planning on taking. It's Necrons, as I've mentioned, because I know I can paint them in time. And I'm very busy at work for the next month, so I don't have time to paint anything more complex. Glass Half Dead, signing off. If anyone has suggestions of ways to end videos, please tell me. Bye.